Welcome to L&B Show and Tell. As many of you know, I love boxes. I purchased my plain wood boxes from, the 99-cent store, Dollar Tree, Daiso, Michael's, Joann's. Anytime I see a plain box, I pick it up because it's a great way for me to use up my scraps. And these are my 3 latest boxes. I have a 4th one also that I did. And I decided that since I am going to be closing my Etsy store next year, and I wanted to pass on my favorite tips for altering boxes. And hopefully it will help at least 1 or 2 of you out there. So first let me start by just showing you that the boxes that I do, like this is the gypsy one, I cover it with paper all over. This is the Kaisercraft Gypsy Sisters. That's long retired. I always make a matching card. As you can see, the sides are all decoupaged. And of course, I paint it first. These next 2, both of these are Graphic 45, Birdsong and the Circus. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. But these turned out really cute also, as you can see. And the paper is it's perfect size to use your leftovers. And the Birdsong, show you that. I just like adding a little bit here and there, like the stamps from the set. And then I also do the back. Okay, so my very first tip, just put these out of the way here, is, well, here's a box that my next one that I'm going to do. And what I do first is to sandpaper it, and then I paint the edges. As you can see, I try to cover up and I distress so none of the wood shows, but just in case it shows a little bit, I do paint inside and out. Okay. Now what I found when I was making something, a couple of years ago, and even though I used a lot of the Mod Podge, and I did it correctly, the paper would bubble up. And it was so annoying. I would put books on top of it, and the books would stick to it. I used I don't know can't remember what it's called. Oh, the brayer, is that what it's called? Can't remember. You know, that roller, so you could roll it. And even that didn't work well. Then I saw a video. Don't remember whose video it was. And they suggested using a little bit of water on the paper before you applied it to your box. So let me show you how well this works. It's really brilliant. What I do, and it's very simple, is I take the back. I'm using this forks because this is all going to be a kitchen little box. And then I just take a regular paper towel, squeeze it off, and then I just kind of wet it. Can you see? I don't want to get it dripping with water, but I just want to get it so that it's damp. And then I take my Mod Podge. I always say Mod Podge, but I know it's not. And then you don't have to do a lot. The key is to do it a thin layer. I just had 2 cups of coffee, so I am shaking a little bit, so bear with me. I can't live without my coffee. Okay, so there we go. And now, as you can see, the paper has kind of, I know it's wet enough because it's changing shape. And just put it on. You want to make sure that you have it even. And then that's all I do. That's it. That's it. Completely flat. brayer. That's what it's called. It's called a brayer. And it will dry perfect. I think what happens, at least it makes sense to me, that the paper shrinks a little bit, and then as it dries, it just automatically sticks, and that way it won't bubble. So that's my first tip. Okay, second tip. Here we go. The second tip, and I'll show you on this, my box, my Alice in Wonderland. As you can see, I think it's turned out really cute. And this is total scraps. Decorated with little hearts. I did the blue. I think it's darling. And the bottom, it's got the hat on it. Cute. Okay, so I always had a difficult time screwing in, since I removed the hardware in order to paint it and decorate it. Putting the hardware on was a killer for me, even when I didn't have coffee. The reason is the screws, as you can see, are so tiny. And even though I use a small screwdriver, it's still difficult for me. So one day I decided, okay, what if I use some ribbon? So I use elastic, and as you can see, I go like that. Oh, you can't see. I'm off camera. Okay. Sorry. And then I will just tie it in a knot. Tying, tying, tying. And get it completely straight. Tie a double knot so it's really tight. And then I'll just move it on the side so I can put the screws in. And it keeps it completely even and straight. So this is my second tip. This works fabulously. As you can tell, I have an easy time putting these on, and they're perfectly straight. Okay, second tip. Last tip. If you use Mod Podge, the one problem I have had is with these boxes, they would sometimes stick. If I certainly had made the box and put it aside, hadn't sold one for a while, and then I went to get it and I would go, this one opens fine, but some of them would not. So what I don't know where I heard about this, but I use baby powder. I just sprinkle on a little bit. Let's see, and then I just go over it a little bit. You see, it just rubs in nicely, and doesn't change the color really, because I just kind of rub it in all four sides, and I do this for the bottom and the top, and I don't have that problem. None of the boxes stick anymore. So those are my 3 tips. I'm passing it on to you and anyone else, and you can feel free to pass these tips on. Maybe you have some other tips that you could pass on to me while I'm still making boxes. I really appreciate that. If not, make some boxes. It's a great way to use up your scraps. Hope everyone's doing well, and hope you got to hear the birds sing. Take good care from the beehive.